Friends, put your hands together to welcome on stage Quizmaster Big Brain.
Hello and a warm welcome to each and every one of you. Before I get started with anything else, let me begin by wishing each and every one of you a very happy Independence Day. As we celebrate yet another Independence Day as a free nation, it's truly fantastic to see platforms like this take this free country forward. YCC 2020 was one such great movement that was conceptualized by Skillablers and EDC. The whole idea was to provide young India with meaningful direction on what to do next and what to do with the future. Everyone seems to be affected by what's happened, but rather than keep on discussing a problem, one should rather look at the solution and the way forward. And that's really what YCC 2020 did. Launched on the birthday of the great J.R.D. Tata, it culminates finally on India's Independence Day. Perhaps fell rightly in place as it should. And in the context of this great conclave that has happened and captivated the imagination of the youth from the length and breadth of this country, we've been running a quiz called the Industry Awareness Quiz at YCC 2020. Huge number of participants, not just from India, from the Middle East, from Singapore, from UK. You even watched a semi-finalist from the United Kingdom a couple of days back. And here today, we're finally left with the best four who qualified through grueling preliminary rounds, a round of semi-finals, and here today, they're all part of the big final at YCC 2020's Industry Awareness Quiz. The quiz, of course, has been put together by Knowledge Tribe Grey Caps, Skillablers, and EDC. And it's the first time we're producing a large-scale event on this new quizzing platform that we at Knowledge Tribe have created called Quizital. It's a digital experience and you've been watching it over the last couple of days. But from here, you're going to watch probably the first ever national final on a digital medium, appropriately perhaps on our Independence Day. Let me begin by introducing our four finalists before we get playing with the final of the Industry Awareness Quiz. Joining me as our first finalist here today, qualifying from the Hindustan College of Arts and Science in Coimbatore, is Roshan Krishna. Welcome to you, Roshan. Neighboring him is the lone lady in this final who's battled her way into the national final, Sri Lakshmi Balakrishnan, all the way from Rajagiri Center for Business Studies in Kochi, is our next finalist. Welcome, Sri Lakshmi. As our third finalist qualifying from the prestigious Coimbatore Institute of Technology is Hariharan Shivakumar. Welcome to you, Hari. Completing our lineup as our fourth finalist in this national round here today from the Indian Institute of Management, Lucknow. Qualifying into the final, Hem Maradia. Welcome to you, Hem. So there you are. You've got two management students. You've got two people who perhaps would aspire to be management students. Time for us, ladies and gentlemen, to pick action on the first frontier of this big final here today. As we celebrate India's independence with four fantastic youngsters, we pick action on the first frontier. Plus 50 if you get it right, minus 50 if you get it wrong. All hands on the buzzer as we pick on Industry Insight. Here it comes. We're going to get started with the first question from every single industry that we could think of and put it together. Obviously, the stakes are higher. It's a big final. All of you are going to be winners because you are in a national final of the top 4. So you've got something to take away, and that doesn't matter. It's still about winning a quiz like this, and the first ever one on a digital medium. On the first one, with your hands on the buzzer, we're going to start with the entertainment industry. Throwing up the first question on your screen. Here it comes. Fatima Muscle Dancer was an extremely popular entity who came up with what was called the Kuchi Kui dance way back in 1896. This dance sequence, which got even censored, was produced by a great person who also produced a couple of other documentaries and films. Hem Maradia is giving it a go. Who is the producer of these films? Go ahead, Hem.
Thomas.
Sorry?
Can I answer? Thomas Alva Edison, the producer.
Thomas Alva Edison made movies.
Yes.
Absolutely right. Oh, that's a brilliant answer. The Kuchi Kui dance was among the first to be censored in this world, and Hem Maradia gets that absolutely right. Thomas Alva Edison for a first answer to get the first 50. Sets the tone for a national final and the caliber of questions that you would face. As we go to the next one on your screens from the world of manufacturing, here it comes. This is a coffee machine created by Lavazza. It's called Espresso. What's so special about it? Hari has gone for it on the buzzer. Yes, Hari.
So I'll say this coffee machine gave the invention of webcam.
Sorry?
So this coffee machine led to the invention of web camera.
Gave the invention of the web camera. Hariharan Sivakumar, minus 50 to you. Well, the answer was in the name of the coffee machine, which is Espresso. The ISS, is your answer there. It's the first ever coffee machine which was designed for the International Space Station. So it's not a coffee machine that you can use on Earth. It's a coffee machine that was manufactured for outside of Earth for our spacelings, so to say. From manufacturing to the next one on your screen, from the world of apps, who makes this statement? Here it comes. Helping millions of people move towards opportunity every day in over 600 cities around the world. Have a request. Hashtag doors are always opening. It's a beautiful line. Hem Maradia is backing himself on that.
Uber.
Uber. Doors are always opening for people to move towards their opportunity every day. Superb answer. Hem Maradia will get another 100 from IIM Lucknow. He has started out in style. As we move on to the final one in this round, from the world of fashion, identify the person. Here it comes. It's a personal symbol of a famous personality. Roshan is giving it a shot, followed by Hem Maradia. Go ahead, Roshan.
Okay, this is David Beckham.
You got to give me a better answer.
Victoria Beckham, his wife.
Well played. 50 to you. David Victoria Beckham. We'll give him a 50. Very, very early days here today in what we call the national final, though we've had international participation. But I'll tell you where the teams stand on the other side of this break. Stay with us. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're with me, Pick Brain, here today in the big final of YCC 2020's Industry Awareness Quiz. With us here today is a contestant from Coimbator's Hindustan College, Roshan. Along with him from Rajagiri Center, Kochi, we have Sri Lakshmi. From Coimbatore Institute of Technology, we've got Hariharan. And leading this quiz early days yet from the Indian Institute of Management, Hem Maradia. As the scores appear on your screen there, Hem Maradia is off to a quick start with 100. Roshan's right behind on 50. Sri Lakshmi yet to score. Hariharan on a minus 50. Very early days. Nothing really much that you can read into those scores. But I tell you what, the next two rounds will perhaps show a little bit of an indicator. Maybe not. As we move into the next frontier, time for us to play on what we call industry expressions. Here it comes. We start with the first one from the world of advertising coming up on your screen. This is Brook Bond Tea. Who is the brand ambassador who advertised? Hem Maradia is giving it a shot. Brook Bond Tea. Who
This is Imran Khan, the cricketer.
Imran Khan for Brook
Yeah,
Bond
yeah.
Tea. Well, it must be some moment for Brook Bond Tea to say a prime minister of a country was our former model, but he's absolutely right on that. Hem Maradia playing very well. In India, of course, India remembers Imran Khan more for the Synthol soap campaign, where he and Vinod Khanna appeared. I don't know how many of you youngsters know Vinod Khanna, but he was a handsome-looking actor in his era. As we move to the next one from advertising, onto your screens, from the world of quality, here we go. Started by Bill Smith and Michael Harry, this was a creation that was introduced by Motorola in 1993. Became a trademark of Motorola in 93, introduced in 1980, beg your pardon. What famous concept am I describing? Roshan Krishna.
This is Six Sigma.
Six Sigma. Well played. He's got his confidence right there as he gets a 50 on that one. As we're going to go to the next one onto your screen for a 50 on your screen. Coming up next from the world of cosmetics. Here we go. Identify the brand which is named after a great, well, I would rather replace that word with popular personality. Great is a very relative term. Hem Maradia.
Kim Kardashian
KKW.
West.
Go ahead.
Kim Kardashian West.
Extremely well played. Oh, beautifully played him. He's got that absolutely right. Kim Kardashian West. Sri Lakshmi is smiling, saying, I should have gone for it. Well, slow on the buzzers. You got to be a little faster. As we go to the next one from the world of automobiles. Hem Maradia really racing away at this stage, but Roshan not too far behind. On the next one on your screen from the world of automobiles. Who is the designer of this? Hari has given it a shot. Go ahead, Hari.
So I'll say Hitler. Adolf Hitler.
Adolf Hitler had time to design cars.
I think
Hariharan
this is Volkswagen Beetle.
is an engineer, so he
yeah.
will know anything to do with designing. Absolutely right. Oh, beautifully answered. Adolf Hitler is believed to be the man who designed that car. That's a cracker of an answer by Hariharan to get himself back to zero. Well, we're going to keep moving into the next round, but at this stage of the quiz, which is just round about halfway, not yet there, on zero are Sri Lakshmi and Hariharan, so they've gained back what they lost, is Hariharan especially. Roshan is on 100, while in the lead is Hem Maradia from the Indian Institute of Management, Lucknow, on 200. As we are going to progress into the next frontier of our game here today, and it's time for us to play what we call Industry Scanner. Here it comes. Starting with the first one from the world of IT and ITES coming up for you as an industry sector. Identify this extremely respected Indian from that sector. Here we go. Roshan is taking a shot at it. Go ahead, Roshan.
I'm guessing this is Chris Gopalakrishnan.
Krish Gopalakrishnan. Would you know which company he started?
Infosys.
Absolutely. Well played on that one. He'll get a 50. Krish Gopalakrishnan, the man who today has built a lot of startup culture at Kochi in Kerala, where Sri Lakshmi hails from. So you got people from all around. And the next one coming up is from the environmental business on your screens now. Sorry, from the engineering business on your screen now. What was this a patent diagram for in the world of engineering? A very simple engineering creation that in many ways changed humanity. It quite literally made the world a smaller place. Hari is taking a chance. Go ahead, Hari.
So I think this is internet.
The Ethernet.
Yes.
Internet or Ethernet?
Internet.
Internet.
INERN.
Oh,
Yes.
right. Well, a little before the internet, by a few decades or 100 years perhaps, came a very important invention by a man called, or patented by a man, not necessarily the first to create it, but the first to patent it, Alexander Graham Bell's telephone. Well, everyone kicking themselves on screen, and rightfully so. You can't miss the diagram of a telephone, but that's really how the patent diagram of a telephone looks. A.G. Bell, Alexander Graham Bell got that patent. As we go to the next one from the world of design, whose mascot was this? It's the old mascot of a well-known company. Hari is giving it a shot and he needs to play that way. Yes, Hari?
So I'll just guess this is Dunkin' Donuts.
You say it's Dunkin' Donuts. Well, in India, especially in South India where you come from, that would look like nice medu vada, but absolutely right on Dunkin' Donut. 50 to you. Well, Hari is gaining, losing. He's got to correct that trend very quickly. And hopefully he'll do that as we go to the next one on your screen. From the world of defense, in a sense, on your screen now. It's called the Woman Power of Dash. Which organization? Hari has gone for it.
So I think this is ISRO. ISRO.
The women's team of ISRO in India. A proud moment as we celebrate Independence Day. It's these women who actually lead a lot of our missions and create not just security but great communication platforms for not just India but the planet that we all occupy. Superb answer for a 50. That gets Hari into the 50. But from here, Hari would be in a hurry. He certainly needs to get going and going fast. As we go to the next one, before we get there, of course, I'll tell you where the scores stand. I need a brief moment to tally those scores. Permit me a quick break. On the other side, I'll come back to you with all the action. Till then, stay with us. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're with me, Pig Brain, watching an absolutely phenomenal national finale of YCC 2020's Industry Awareness Quiz. Superb final starting out here. The scores are on your screen. Sri Lakshmi yet to get off. She's been buzzing, but buzzing late. Hari is on 50 and he's clawed his way back after being in the negatives. So that 50 is actually worth a lot more than what it shows. Roshan on 150 will tell himself, I just need one good answer to get to where Hem Maradia currently is, which is 200. Hem has been consistent and calm from the word go. He leads the quiz as we move into the next frontier and take a look at what we call the industry monitor. Here it comes. the first one, we're going to pick action with philanthropy, and I want you to identify two people from what you get to see on your screen. Here we go. Hari has gone for it. Two people.
So this is Mark Zuckerberg and his wife Chan Zuckerberg.
Very well played. Very, very well played. The Shan Zuckerberg Foundation, which basically includes Shan and Mark as the Zuckerberg family. 50 to Hari, and Hari is not giving up on this game. He needs to tell himself, I need two more, and that's the way you play a quiz. You play it like how Dravid played his cricket, one run at a time. And that's really what gets you to accumulate the scores. As we go to the next one, it's from the world of environment on your screens now. What is a red list that IUCN brings out? Hari again on the buzzer. He's really playing the second half of this game well. Yes, Hari Haran.
So I just guess this is endangered animals list.
Endangered animals list. And there's an official list for that? He's got that absolutely right. Superbly played. Hari Haran, he's on 150. Oh boy, what a national final we have. Maradia is keeping quiet, and perhaps that quietness is going a little longer than he would like it to be. As we go to the next one, it's from the world of textiles that I have a question coming for you on your screen now. This is famously called the fifth pocket. Hari Haran, go ahead.
So
Stopping me on that.
So I guess this is introduced by Levi's to keep your pocket watches.
This was created by Levi's.
So to keep your pocket watches. Back then they had pocket watches. To keep those pocket watches, they created this.
In the olden days, you did not have wrist watches. You actually had pocket watches. The types that you get to see in the movie Gandhi, which you normally get to watch on an Independence Day. Absolutely well answered. 50 to Hari Haran, and what a comeback he has made in this quiz. I'll show you the scores at the end of this round, but we've got one more question to go before we get there. And the pressure is going to begin to tell on all of them. As we go to the next one, on your screens, from the world of travel and tourism, here it comes. It's an ad campaign by the Ministry of Tourism, Government of India. It says, Venetian vacation in India. What is being promoted? Maradia is taking a chance. What would be a Venetian vacation in India?
Are these the backwaters of Kerala? Like they are promoting the Kerala backwaters in and around.
So you go on boat rides in Kerala and you stay on a boat. It's like a Venetian experience, but you don't have to go to Venice to do that.
Yeah.
Well, Sri Lakshmi is smiling. She probably would have had enough of those Venetian vacations to be bored of it from Kerala. But I think she's smiling, saying, I should have got that one for myself. Absolutely right. Maradia with that answer will lead the quiz into the final round. And that's a psychological advantage. He's heaving a sigh of relief there. Sometimes quizzes like this can be a little more difficult than an IIM entrance exam. Well, it's pressure cooker situation, but we've got outstanding. I mean, we've had more than 10,000 people take this quiz and register for this quiz. We're talking of the final four from among them. So it's not even fair to compare them. They're all four champions for me in their own light for having reached this far. It's no joke at all for their consistency that they are in the big final. Well, as we celebrate this Independence Day, on the other side, we're going to have one among these four who's going to emerge a champion. But we're going to go bottom up. But permit me a quick break. I'll show you the scores. It's a very interesting scorecard. And then the final frontier of the YCC 2020 Industry Awareness Quiz. Back in just a moment. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're with me, Big Brain, here today celebrating Independence Day. with an outstanding final that's playing out in front of all of us. At YCC 2020's Industry Awareness Quiz, an idea that was put together by Skillablers, Grey Caps and EDC as an idea for young India to get them to understand their industry quotient better. We must be extremely honest, the participation has been way more than we thought it would be. We are here with the final four, and we're going to play the final round from bottom up, which means we're going to start with Sri Lakshmi from God's own country, Kochi, who is at this point in time lying fourth in the sequence. She'll play her 1 minute first as we move to the final frontier of our game, which we call Industry in a Minute. Here it comes. On the final frontier, we've got 1 minute of time for each of our contestants. And like I've been sharing with you over the last 1 week, where we've been playing out the semi-finals for you, well, in the world that we live in today, a minute is actually a lot of time. And that's why we came out with a beautiful app called 1 Minute Learning, where in just a minute's time, we equip you every day with some nice industry information so you can stay ahead of your own self and the others and present yourself better to the world. All we need is 1 minute of your time every day. You might want to download that app after this quiz and get on to improving your industry quotient. But for the moment, with these four fabulous finalists, we're going to start with Sri Lakshmi from Kochi, from the Rajagiri Center for Management Studies. The rules, before we get to all of you, you get 4 questions in a possible 1 minute of time where you can answer. The time taken by me to read the questions is included in that 1 minute of time. 50 if you get it right, minus 50 if you get it wrong. However, if you choose to pass a question, you do not lose a 50 because you've not got it wrong. If you've got time, you cannot go back to a past question, even if you have time. So my advice would be distribute your 4 questions across the 60 seconds of time. If you are ready, Sri Lakshmi Balakrishnan from Kochi, your 1 minute of time starting now. Who Moved My Cheese is a book written by Robin Sharma or Spencer Johnson.
Robin Sharma.
Incorrect. Daniel Zhang is the current CEO of which Chinese group? Alibaba or SoftBank?
The second option.
SoftBank is Japanese. Minus 50 again to you. As we go to the next one. Who was the CEO of Microsoft before Steve Ballmer?
I don't know, sir. Pass.
You want to pass that? Well, tricky way of putting it, Bill Gates. And the last one. R.K. Shanmugam Chetty was India's first what in terms of ministry? Well, he's not far away from you. He's from Coimbatore. The 2 Coimbatore boys are smiling. What was he India's first? Your time is up. You want to try? I'll give it to you. No? Well, he was India's first, or independent India's first finance minister. So on an industry awareness, that's an important person to consider. Sri Lakshmi Balakrishnan for being the lone lady to reach this far. Truly, truly appreciate your perseverance and your outstanding performance that's got you into the nation's top 4. Congratulations to you. As we move on to our next challenger here, Roshan on 150 is currently placed 3rd, and he'll have to set a really heavy target for the other 2 to chase. He can potentially score 200. Roshan Krishna from Coimbatore, if you're ready, your 1 minute of time starting now. It's a part of the Discovery Network and it's a channel called OWN, O-W-N. What does it stand for?
Can you repeat it? O-N-W-N.
O-W-N. OWN.
Oh, Oprah Winfrey Network.
Is correct. Oh, well played in the nick of time. Which consulting major has a networking platform called the D Street? Dun & Bradstreet or Deloitte?
Deloitte.
Is correct. What brand was launched in 1934, originally sold in green colored tins as fortified tonic food by Nestle?
Pass.
Tomco, I've started, so I'm going to give that to you. Tomco was a company that was part of which group in India? It was an
What was the
oil
word?
mill company.
What was the word? Tom?
Tomco.
Okay, I will pass it.
Oh, that would be Tata Oil Mills Company. In those days, it was Tomco, Tisco, and Telco, which really powered the Tata company in those days. Well, Roshan Krishna has done well to get to the second position. No, sorry, he's on the first position along with Hem Maradia. But Hem Maradia would be happy with that situation because he'll only need to get one right. So the whole key would be with Hariharan. But the ones you got wrong were Deloitte, and Nestle's fortified tonic food is Milo. Milo is the drink that I was describing, which you could not quite nail in that pressure situation. Hariharan Sivakumar from the Coimbatore Institute of Technology. If you are ready and you will set a target for him, Maradia, to chase with your 1 minute of time, Hariharan, starting now. 100 years of better breakfasts. This is a line promoted by which company?
I'll guess this is Kellogg's.
Is correct. Which word meaning very quick in Hawaiian has created a huge charitable organization? Hawaiian word for quick.
I'll pass.
You choose to pass. The answer is Wikipedia or Wiki. Marketing 4.0 is a book written by which great thinker? Edward de Bono or Philip Kotler?
Philip Kotler.
Is correct. Finacle is a banking solution from which giant in India? Very important banking solution by them. Finacle, you've got a lot of time.
I'll pass.
Oh, he chooses to pass, but he's on 300 and he's passed it smartly because he didn't want to come back to 250. He's going to kick himself on the last one. It was Infosys. Infosys has a product in finance called Finacle, but I think the one that you would really, believe you should have got is the Hawaiian word for quick, which is Wiki. I think that was pressure telling on him. Roshan on 250. Hem Maradia on 250. Hariharan now on 300. We'll pray that Hem Maradia does not get more than one right. But Hem Maradia from the Indian Institute of Management, Lucknow, is on the verge of winning a big title if he gets 2 right. Of course, he's got to get his math right, which I would presume at an IIM you would get right. But then pressure can do anything to anybody. Hem, if you are ready, and if you could have your mic on, your 60 seconds of time.
I'm ready.
Hem Maradia from Indian Institute of Management, Lucknow, your 1 minute of time starting now. Which toy gets its English name from the Filipino word for come back? Bobo or yo-yo?
A pass.
Second question. What one word connects a Latin American dance music that incorporates jazz to a spicy tomato sauce?
Tango.
Incorrect. Who is the only lady to have ever featured on the banknotes of 2 countries, France and Poland? Madame Curie or Indira Gandhi?
Madam Curie.
Is correct. Which is the only city in India to be named after a businessman? Which is the only city in India to be named after a businessman?
Tatanagar.
Can you give me a better answer for that?
Jamshedpur.
We'll get you a 50. Oh, what a final here today. Hem Maradia finally gets Tata Nagar, which is Jamshedpur, absolutely right on this Independence Day. What a final. Hariharan on 300, Hem Maradia on 300. We've got a tiebreaker in this big final here today. But I tell you what, starting the YCC 2020 journey on the birthday of J.R.D. Tata, it could not have ended with a better destination than Jamshedpur on the 15th of August, where we with pride celebrate our Independence Day. I wish I could declare both of you as champions, but I cannot quite do that. So I will have to go into a tiebreaker. Coming up is the tiebreaker of the national final of YCC 2020, the Industry Awareness Quiz. All right, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of that remarkable final, we've got Hariharan Sivakumaran from Coimbatore Institute of Technology, who's on a tiebreaker at 300. But let's not forget a great performance by Roshan Krishna on 250. He'll be thinking for himself, man, one answer more and I would have been in that tiebreaker too. But on the big tiebreaker, we're going to play this on the buzzer between the two of you. I would need both of you to keep your mics on. And as I ask you the question, you can buzz. And if you get it right, you win the big title. So if both of you are ready, Hariharan and Hem, I'm going to start at one question at a time and see how it goes. If neither of you attempt, then I move on to the next question. All right? Which journalist and later a prime minister of a country, is also a Nobel Prize recipient in the field of literature for history books that he wrote. Known famously for his great speeches. A journalist by profession, and that was his industry. From being a journalist, he went on to become a world leader and a prime minister of a country. Someone's gone for it. It's Hem Maradia from IIM Lucknow.
Sir Winston Churchill.
Sir Winston Churchill. Well, ladies and gentlemen, on this Independence Day, the young boy from Indian Institute of Management, Lucknow, will emerge our national champion. He's got that absolutely right on Winston Churchill. Hariharan thinking a little longer than he should have on a question like that. But I still think Hariharan will believe he did not lose the quiz on Winston Churchill. He lost it on Wiki. That's what got him into trouble. That 50 would have taken him ahead. But at the end of the day, holding his nerves at the moment when it mattered most, Hem Maradia emerges the champion of this quiz among the four champions that you get to see here on your screen. The final scorecard on your screen reads as follows. Finishing this quiz with a 250 is Roshan, and that was really, really close. On 300 is Hariharan Sivakumar, and with 310, just getting an inch forward from the others, is Hem Maradia on that tiebreaker as our champion at YCC 2020's Industry Awareness Quiz. To the four of you, my congratulations for being in the top four, an outstanding effort. The prizes, of course, will also reach you digitally as this quiz has. And from Skillablers, from EDC, for this wonderful platform called YCC. For all those of you who've been part of it, it's my pleasure as the anchor of this quiz to thank you for joining in and for watching this and encouraging us right through. But ladies and gentlemen, all great things must end. But let's end on a note that this nation moves forward. We are a country which is known for our resilience. A virus, an attack, or anything else, whether it's from outside or whether it is from the air, doesn't really stop us from our progress. We are a nation which knows how to keep walking despite it all. And that is the power of India that takes us forward. Displaying that spirit are these four wonderful youngsters who've been here today in this remarkable final and have endured a superb quiz that was conceptualized by us at Knowledge Tribe Grey Caps, along with Skillablers and EDC. But before we sign off, ladies and gentlemen, remember one thing. Never allow the problems to consume you. Always look at what you can do next and keep moving. On that note, from me, Pick Brain, from all of us at Team YCC, it's a very happy Independence Day yet again, and thank you so much for tuning in to this quiz. Till we meet you again on yet another digital quizzing platform, from me to all of you, stay safe, stay happy, and keep quizzing. Thank you for joining us. Good evening and goodbye.